Hello Excel champions, it's William aka Dr. Excel. Today I'm going to show you how to use a weighted average function in Excel. So I'm going to show you how to compute this using native Excel formulas, and then we're going to see a more convenient way is we're going to define our own weighted average function, our own custom function, and we're going to be able to reuse it in Excel. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but you can download the file already with all the formulas and everything already entered. This way you can follow with me more easily. So weighted average, what does it mean? If I do an average, a classic average of these values, actually all of the values have the same weight. What I'd like to do, I'd like to compute an average, but with a weight for each value. So how am I going to do this usually? I'm going to multiply each value by its weight. So for that, I'm going to use the sum product of this column by this one. So each means each time I multiply the value by the weight, and I make the sum of all of that. So I make this, and then I divide by the sum of all the weights. So that's going to give me the weighted average of the column. Now, a more convenient way that we can do this, the problem with this formula is it's a bit long, and if you have lots of weighted average to calculate very often, it's not very convenient to rewrite that each time. So I'm going to, so what we're going to do, we're going to compute, to define a new formula that we're going to be able to use to compute weighted average. So for that, I'm going to define it in VBA. So I'm going to go into this file. I'm going to make a new module, new VBA module, and I'm going to use function weighted average of, first we're going to say values as range and weights as range. So this means that we're defining our formula, which is called weighted average, and it takes two parameters, two ranges, the values and the weights. And now what are we going to return? So we have to return a value that has the same name of the function. That's going to be the result. And how do I compute it? Actually, I'm not going to recompute it by hand. I'm going to use the native Excel formulas within the VBA. So I'm going to do application dot worksheet function. Oops. Dot sum product here of first argument of sum product is values of the weight. So if you can access any Excel formula within VBA with application.worksheet function. So this makes a sum product, and I'm going to divide it by the sum. So I'm going to do copy paste application worksheet function dot sum of the weights. Okay, and that's what I'm going to return. Now the cool thing is I can use the function weighted average of my chart of my values. Like any other functions, I can use it in Excel, and it's going to return exactly the same thing as any other formula. So that's really convenient. Here I defined weighted average as a function, but you can define much more advanced formulas with everything that you can imagine, and you can allocate them to the specific name that you want. So now I can leave you download the file. It's going to be right below. Don't forget to download it to have this function that you can reuse. And I will see you tomorrow for a new Excel tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. This way you will be notified as soon as I publish it. See you tomorrow, champions. Ciao.